The news came out that Richard Donner passed away yesterday, and that was a real bummer for me. Richard Donner was a director that directed some of the greatest movies ever and really directed many movies that helped shape my childhood. And even if you weren't of the same age group as me, because I know some of you are older than me, some of you are younger than me, you were still impacted by Richard Donner's influence on film. Not to mention, Richard Donner was also one of the key people with involved in Tales from the Crypt and other projects like that. Richard Donner, I guess some of his most famous work would probably be Lethal Weapon and Superman, the 1978 film. And I appreciated Lethal Weapon a lot more when I was older, but looking back on it now, I feel like, it's even better when you're older. But I did see it when I was a kid. But Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, 1978 Superman, of course, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, even though he shot a lot of what was in the theatrical version of that film. You know, uh, what a classic. I mean, look, you can like whatever Superman you want, whether it be the Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh, you can like the TV Superman, you can like the animated series. They all have their own pros and cons. But if it wasn't for the original 1978 Superman, Richard Donner took Superman from the page. And remember, Mario Puzo, the writer of The Godfather, wrote that film. So he took Superman from the page to the big screen. And he was the first to do it. And before any of the other guys came along to do a Superman film or put Superman on the screen, Richard Donner did it. Now, obviously, there were old TV shows that had Superman in them, but this was the first movie that really became like a household superhero movie. I mean, can you think of any superhero movie that came out that was such a hit and so influential before 1978 Superman? Don't forget the poster, you will believe a man can fly. These are things that I miss about film, like those those teaser phrases. You know what I mean? Things that you never forget. These posters with the Superman logo and the rainbow glistening, and they're wonderful films. Superman 1 and 2 are wonderful, positive, uplifting movies. Great movies. Obviously, Christopher Reeve was great as, you know, Clark Kent and Kal-El. And he may not have had the physique that Henry Cavill had, but you believed it because of just how ahead of their time they were. And don't forget about the Goonies. Every kid from my generation has seen the Goonies. The Goonies is a franchise, well, not a franchise, a movie that so many of us remember. And that was a huge success as well. And even before all this, he also directed the 1976 Omen film, which The Omen is a terrifying, terrifying little horror flick that wound up being a hit, but I think it's often slept on because I think Superman kind of overshadows that. Richard Donner was great at creating fantasy films and fantasy stories. He did some episodes of Get Smart and Combat and things like that, some episodes of Gilligan's Island, believe it or not. He was really good at doing action mixed with humor and fantasy. He was really good at that. And, they called him Uncle Dick in the business. And he also made other movies like The Toy. He made Scrooged, which is one of my favorite holiday movies with Bill Murray. Radio Flyer, that's a movie nobody ever talks about anymore. Me and my ex-roommates talk about that movie. Elijah Wood in Radio Flyer. I need to get a copy of that. I don't own that film, but I remember it. He also directed a wonderful film in 1997 called Conspiracy Theory. He directed that film. He produced other movies like The Lost Boys. He produced Free Willy. He helped out with Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, and Bordello of Blood because he was involved in Tales from the Crypt. He even helped produce X-Men from 2000. Ultimately, Richard Donner's, as a visionary filmmaker and as a guy who really made wonderful films, powerful films that influenced so many people, needs to be remembered respectfully. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have any of these other DC movies because he made people believe that a man could fly. And I wanted to show my respects to Richard Donner's family and to Richard Donner himself, vaya con Dios, because he's a filmmaker that really made a lot of movies that I think were important to my childhood. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tonight for the low-key review or tomorrow morning whenever I do it very soon. And have a great one.